Hey everyone, welcome back, or if you're new here, my name is Josh, and in today's video, I'm going to be reviewing the US Bank Altitude Connect card. So I'll be going over the main features of this card, its pros as well as its drawbacks. So hopefully by the end of this video, you'll have a much better idea of whether or not this card is a good fit for you. But before I go ahead and dive into the main features of this card, if you wouldn't mind helping out real quickly by just giving this video a like, that just helps out with the good old YouTube algorithm, and also consider subscribing to my channel if you have not already. Also, if you would like to receive a few free stocks, $60 or more to be exact, in a pinned comment below, I will be leaving a link to Webull. Once you click on that link, all you got to do is open up a free account and then deposit at least one penny. At that point, they will send you 20 free stocks. Each stock is going to be worth at least $3, so it's going to be worth at least $60 or more in free stocks. Okay, so diving right into the main features of the US Bank Altitude Connect card. First off, we're going to be talking about how you can earn points with it. So you will be earning 5 points per dollar spent on prepaid hotels and car rentals booked in the Altitude Reward Center with this card. You'll also be earning 4 points per dollar spent at gas stations and EV charging stations. Then you'll be earning 2 points per dollar spent at grocery stores, grocery delivery, dining, and on streaming services. And then on all other transactions, you will be earning 1 point per dollar spent. Now with this card, there is also a spend bonus. So you will be earning 50,000 bonus points as long as you're able to spend at least $2,000 within the first 120 days of having this card. As far as how much 50,000 points are worth, it's going to be worth $500, which can go towards cash back, gift cards, travel, and more. Now, with this card, there are also some other perks as well that you'll definitely have to consider. So just for instance, your points are never going to expire, so you don't have to feel rushed to use them once you earn the 50,000 bonus points as long as you spend the $2,000 within the first 120 days. You don't have to use that right away. In fact, you don't even have to use it within the first couple of years. You can hang on to that for as long as you want, and whenever the time is right, you can make the decision to use those points. Furthermore, you're also going to be receiving a $30 credit for annual streaming services like Netflix, Apple TV+, Spotify, and much more, as long as you spend at least 11 months of streaming purchases. So you won't get it right away. You are going to have to make 11 months of streaming purchases every single year to get that $30 statement credit. Additionally, you're also going to be receiving a complimentary Priority Pass Select membership, which is going to give you 4 free visits to over 1,300 airport VIP lounges and experiences worldwide. You're also going to receive reimbursement on TSA pre-check or global entry once every 4 years. That is going to be a $100 value. You're also going to get up to $600 in reimbursement if your cell phone is stolen or damaged, as long as you pay your monthly cell phone bill with this credit card. And then finally, you're also going to be receiving trip delay, cancellation, or interruption insurance reimbursement. So those are the main features of this card. At this point, we are going to go ahead and move into the APR and fees, because this is also super important to consider as well. So starting out, we're going to be talking about the purchase APR. So starting out, your purchase APR is going to be anywhere between 21.24 to 29.24%, of course, based on your credit worthiness. Now, as far as balance transfers go, with this card, there's not much of a point in doing a balance transfer, because with this card, unlike some of the other credit cards out there in the market, it currently does not offer any type of introductory special like a 0% APR for the first, let's say, like 12 to 18 months. You're not getting any type of special, at least for now. Perhaps after you sign up, they might offer you something later down the line. But for now, on your balance transfer balances, your APR is going to be anywhere between 21.24 to 29.24%. Now, as far as cash advances go, on this channel, I always recommend to stay far away from cash advances. This should not be considered financial advice, but just something that I personally stay far away from, just because the APR is super high generally. Plus, you're paying a lot of fees as well. People can get themselves in a whole lot of trouble with cash advances. But if you do decide to take one out, just know that the APR on them is going to be 29.99%. And then, of course, there are also going to be some fees on top of that as well. So just talking about the fees here, on those cash advances, your fee is going to be either 5% of your cash advance or $10, whichever one of those happens to be greater. Now, as far as balance transfers go, if you do happen to do a balance transfer, the fee on those is either going to be 3% or $5. Whichever happens to be greater, that amount is going to be on each balance transfer that you do. Then as far as late or return payments, if you have a late payment or a return payment, the fee on those is going to be up to $41. Now, if you happen to pay late for the first time or two, it is possible that they might waive that fee. So I would definitely recommend calling into US Bank asking if they can waive the fee for a one-time convenience. It's certainly not guaranteed, but it is definitely worth calling in if you happen to pay late. Of course, I would recommend to set up auto pay or maybe set up somewhere on your calendar, just a friendly reminder yourself, just to ensure that you are paying this card off on time and you're not going to have a risk of that $41 fee. Now, as far as foreign transactions fees go, on this card there are no foreign transaction fees, so that is definitely a plus. It is one that you can take with you if you happen to travel abroad, and you will not have to worry about being hit with any extra fees. Now, as far as the annual fees go, for the first year alone, there are no annual fees, so that is certainly a plus. However, the second year moving forward, every year after the first year, there is going to be an annual fee of $95. So it's going to be something you'll definitely have to consider. Am I getting enough value with this card to make paying for it every single year after the first year, $95 for it worth it? That's going to be up to you, and we're going to be going over that in just a moment. So now that we went over the main features of this card as well as the APR and fees, I'm now going to go ahead and dive into what I would consider to be the biggest pros and drawbacks of this credit card. We're going to start out with the good things. The first good thing, of course, is the fact that you can earn those 50,000 bonus points as long as you're able to spend at least $2,000 within the first 120 days of having this credit card. So it's definitely a bonus that is quite achievable for most people, depending on how much you usually spend. I would say most people probably won't have too big of difficulties of reaching that. It's going to be around $500 in spend per month to reach the 50,000 bonus points. And once again, the 50,000 bonus points is going to be worth $500 in value. Now, on top of that, you're also going to be receiving 5 points per dollar spent on prepaid hotels and car rentals when booked in the Altitude Reward Center, and then 4 points per dollar spent at gas and EV charging stations. So that's basically 4 points per dollar spent on gas. It's pretty solid. With some other credit cards out there, you can actually get 5 points per dollar spent. However, 4 points per dollar spent is still pretty good. Then, of course, you're also going to be getting the annual $30 credit on streaming services. So if you use services like Netflix and Hulu or stuff like that, and you use it for at least 11 months out of the year, you're going to receive $30 back for that, so it's pretty solid. Plus, you're also going to be getting the Global Entry or TSA pre-check. That is a $100 value every 4 years, so it breaks down to $25 per year. You're also not going to have any foreign transaction fees, so that's definitely a plus as well. And then at least for the first year alone, there are no annual fees, so that is a pretty solid benefit as well. Now, as far as the drawbacks go of this card, really all in all, there aren't too many drawbacks. If I want to be pretty critical of the card, I would say the fact that you are going to have the annual fee of $95 starting in the second year moving forward. So you're going to have to really sit down and figure out, is it worth, once again, paying $95 for this card? Am I getting enough benefits back to make worth paying $95 for this card worth it? And then secondly, I would say the lack of credits with this card. I mean, sure, you have the $30 annual streaming credit, and then of course you have the Global Entry and TSA pre-check, which breaks down to $25 per year when you consider it's a $100 value every 4 years. But other than that, there aren't too many other credits. So just to sum this whole card up, for the first year alone, this card is definitely worth it. You're going to be receiving the 50,000 bonus points as long as you're once again able to spend at least $2,000 within the first 120 days. Plus, you're going to be getting all the points to get to the $2,000 mark. But starting at the second year moving forward, considering the fact that you're only going to be receiving the $30 credit for streaming services, you're going to be paying a $95 annual fee, so you're pretty much going to be $65 in the hole. Even if you consider the $25 credit you're going to be receiving on average for the Global Entry or TSA pre-check, you're still in the hole by a pretty substantial amount. So at least for the first year, it's probably going to be worth it for most people. However, for the second year moving forward, you're probably not going to get as much value as you could, whereas perhaps signing up with another credit card, taking advantage of the signing bonus and all the other perks with another credit card might be a better option. But that's all we have for today's review. I certainly hope that you enjoyed and found value out of it. If you did, again, I would greatly appreciate if you could give this video a like. Consider subscribing to my channel if you have not already, and I will see you in the next video.